Hello and welcome to another FreeCAD tutorial with me, Andrew. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this knight chess piece using a variety of different tools. In the previous video we created the rook, so if you haven't seen that then click on the pop-out banner above. Without further ado, let's get to it. To get started, I'm going to create a new document, click on the workbench drop down and select part design. I'm then going to click on the new sketch icon to create a sketch and click on the XZ plane and click OK. Now that we've created our empty sketch, I'm going to click on the icon up here and switch that to construction. I'm going to click on the construction circle and I'm going to click over here and drag that out. I'm then going to set the radius of that circle to 16.5 mil. I'm then going to press Shift H and I'm going to constrain the horizontal axis to 19 millimeters. I'm then going to press Shift V and I'm going to constrain the vertical axis. And I'm going to set that to 24 millimeters. So what that construction circle does for us is basically creates a part of geometry that we'll come to use later on when we're creating the rest of our chess piece. The Shift H and Shift V, which is horizontal constraint and vertical constraint, it's just a lot easier than going up and clicking on each of the icons. So it's just little hotkeys, little shortcuts like that, which make the process of making geometry a lot quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of these measurements just out of the way, just so that it makes it visually easier for us when we're creating the rest of our geometry. So now that we've created our construction circle, I'm going to flick back over to the construction geometry, click on the endpoints and rim points arc, and I'm going to click on our horizontal line like so. I'm going to attach that to our construction circle, and I'm going to create another arc like so. I'm then going to create another two arcs, one like this, another one going inwards like that, and then just one more like so. I'm then going to grab the polyline, move it up slightly, and then I'm going to switch back to the arcs and start using this. So this one's going to come in like so, and then one more which is also going to attach to our construction geometry, and it's going to go like that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to quickly start constraining some of this geometry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tangent between those 2 points, say OK. Create a tangent between these two arcs and say OK. And I'm going to create a vertical constraint on this line, and I'm also going to create a tangent like that, and a tangent here, like so. I want to set the radius of this point to 9.5, and I want to make that 4 mil. So if I say Shift H, that gives me the horizontal constraint to the origin point. I'm going to set that to 4 mil. If I press Shift V, it gives me a vertical constraint. I'm going to set that to 26 mil, like so. I'm going to just move this out of the way so it's a little bit tidier for us to see. And I'm going to constrain these 2 points with a tangent as well. I'm going to constrain these 2 points here in the vertical. Click on the vertical constraint. I'm going to say Shift H. I'm going to constrain this point to our origin point, and that's going to be 3.5. And I'm going to constrain the bottom of our sketch to the origin point. That's going to be 13.5. The radius of this point is going to be 16.5, and the radius of this point is also going to be 16.5. Pressing Shift H, we can constrain this point to this point, which will be 17.5, and we can also constrain this point to this point, which is going to be 8.5. This point here is the center point of our arc here. I'm going to set a couple more radiuses. So this arc here, the radius of this is going to be 7 mil. The radius of this arc here is going to be 3 mil. And the radius of this arc here is going to be 12.5. I'm then going to vertically constrain, pressing Shift V, the top of our nose to the origin point, and that's going to be 21.5. And I'm just going to constrain the arc here, which with a radius of 30. So we have the first half of our horse's head, which has been constrained. As you can see, it does get very crowded with measurements very quickly. So now it's time just to create the second half of our horse's head. So I'm going to click on the polyline, click on the point, the top point of this arc, and move up in the vertical, creating a vertical constraint. Then I'm going to right click, click on the arcs, the endpoints arc, and I'm just going to create the ear, the back of the horse's head, like so, and then clicking on that arc, clicking on our horizontal line, create an arc going inwards. I'm then going to reselect the polyline, and I'm going to join the 2 points at the bottom. So now we just don't have to constrain the rest of this geometry. So I'm going to constrain these 2 points here in the horizontal, and I'm going to press Shift V to get the vertical constraint, and I'm going to select the top of the ear, and I'm also going to select the bottom. I'm going to set that to 239. I'm going to set the rad of these 3 arcs. So I'm going to click on the radius tool, constrain this one to 13.5, constrain this arc to 23, and I'm going to constrain this arc at the bottom to 22. I'm then going to click Shift H to give the horizontal constraint, and I'm going to set that to 27, which is then going to push it out slightly. I'm then going to constrain the center of this arc to the origin point, and that's going to be 33. And I'm going to right click these 2 arcs here, and I'm going to create a tangent between them both and say OK. I'm then going to take these 2 points, one at the bottom of the ear on the right side and one at the bottom of the ear on the left hand side, and I'm going to create a horizontal constraint like so. This has now constrained our entire drawing, and I'm going to click close. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to extrude that symmetric to the plane so that it is extruding on both sides rather than just the one. And it's already set to 10mm, so we're going to say OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a datum on this plane here. So we're going to click on the face and click on the datum plane, which is going to bring up this yellow box. I'm then going to set the Z to 24, which is going to move it down. But what we're going to do is we're going to click flip sides, which is then going to move it up so that it's in our part. Now the reason why I've moved it up 24, if we say OK to that, if we go back to our sketch, you'll see that the center point of our construction geometry is 24mm up. What that will do is when we create our next part, which is a slight groove in our horse's face, it'll create a bit of different geometry. So I'm going to click close, and I'm going to click on the datum point, and I'm going to click sketch. I'm going to grab our polyline tool, and we're just going to quickly sketch out some rough geometry. So I'm going to sketch line this way, sketch line at an angle, and then reattach it like so. I'm going to right click, go back over to model, right click on our body, click on appearance. I'm going to set the transparency to about in half. Now we can see our sketch a little bit clearer. We can start constraining it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Shift H, and I'm going to constrain this horizontal line to 16.5mm. I'm then going to constrain the point to the origin 19mm. I'm then going to take this line, and I'm going to constrain that, or these 2 points, this whole line, and constrain that in the vertical like so. I'm then going to offset, so Shift V, offset the line from our center point 5mm, and I'm going to set the line in the vertical 1.5mm, and that's going to constrain our entire drawing. I'm then going to go back up to tasks, close that, and as you'll see we've got our datum point and we've got our sketch. Now what I want to do is I want to create a datum line which goes at this point here along this line. So what happens is when we revolve this sketch, then it will revolve around our datum line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide our datum plane. So I'm going to click on our datum plane, press spacebar, and it will hide our datum. I'm then going to click on this line of our sketch, which is closest to the horse, and click on our datum line, which will then create a line going through that point. I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to highlight our sketch in our model tree, and I'm going to click on the groove tool. I'm then going to, on the drop down, select reference, and I'm going to click our datum line, which should be visible there. I'm then going to say OK, hide our datum line, and as you'll see we have now created a groove which is in our horse face, like so. What I want to do though is I want to mirror that on the opposite side. So I'm going to click on the mirror icon, click on the groove, which is our selected feature, say OK. And I'm then going to click on the XZ plane, which is then going to mirror it in that plane. Say OK. And there we have it. We have a groove on either side of our horse's face. If I change the appearance, it just adds a little bit more character. So now that we can see the basics of our horse taking shape, it's time to turn it into a bit more of a chess piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a taper just at the bottom of our horse neck. So I'm going to click on a new sketch, click on the XZ plane, and click OK. And then I'm going to grab the polyline tool, click on our center line, like so, go along, go up, and then I'm going to join it back in again. Now you can reduce the appearance or the transparency of, or increase the transparency of your part of the horse, just to make it a little bit easier to create this part. But I'm going to leave it as it is for now. I'm going to press Shift H, click on the bottom, I'm going to set that to 10mm, click on our point and our origin point and set that to 5mm, and then I'm going to click on our angular constraint, which I'm going to click on these 2 points. I'm going to set that to 20mm. I'm going to click close, and again I'm going to click on the grooving tool, click on our Z, which is our center line, which is going through our part, and it should create something just like that. I'm going to click OK. We're now going to create a secondary datum plane from the bottom of our horse's neck. So we're going to click on the circle that we've just created with our grooving tool and click on datum. And then going to set the Z to 2, which is going to move it down like so. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click on the datum and click sketch. I'm going to grab our circle drawing tool, click on the center point, and I'm going to set the radius of that to 8mm. Click close, and I'm going to hide that datum. Now that we've hidden our datum plane, I'm going to click on the drop down here, and I'm going to go over to the draft workbench. I'm going to click on our bottom circular face, like so. I'm going to click on the icon face binder, which is now going to create a face binder in our model tree. I'm going to go back over to our part design workbench. We're going to click on sketch and click loft. I'm going to double click on our horse's head and press the spacebar, which is then going to hide it from view. Our face binder is still there, so I'm going to click on add section. I'm going to click on the face binder, which is going to create this loft. I'm going to press OK. And as you can see, we've now created a loft between the sketch from our datum point and the bottom of our horse's neck, which then becomes one entire body. So that is now end of part 1 of this chess piece video. I didn't want to make the videos too long. The actual overall length was something like 24 minutes after I started editing it down, so I thought maybe that was a bit too long. So I've cut it into 2 parts, and I'll try and upload them at the same time. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. And feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know how to improve these videos. Thank you for watching, and have an awesome rest of your weekend.